Welcome. Let me get this. Okay. Welcome, y'all. Welcome, returning and new subscribers. This is your goddess, Empress, High Priestess, Alba La Pantea. Welcome, all. It's great to have you here. Let me actually put my baby on. Okay. So, full moon in Pisces. Shout out to my love, my goddess, Hourglass by Jazz, baby. I love you. Shout out to her A1 day ones that are also tuning in or have just recently subscribed. Welcome to you all. And those of you who have came here prior to. Because I will be touching base on the significance of the retrograde planets. And it's ideal. Okay. See, the channel is going to start to come in quick. So, some of you may have already noticed this. And what I'm speaking of is connected to Mars and Gemini. A lot of the things that you're thinking about, let's say you wanted to, for instance, this is an example, personally. There was a movie I wanted to watch that I've watched a few years ago. I didn't say it out loud, nothing. Okay? Didn't search for it, didn't do anything in regards to me wanting to watch this film. Yesterday, browsing, it shows up on the feed. Didn't have a conversation about it with anyone except self. Okay? Mars is in Gemini, which has a lot to do with the way you communicate, the way you move. It's also connected to siblings. Okay? It has a lot to do with everyday life because it also has the great influence when it comes to your consciousness. And your consciousness is responsible for what is being downloaded into your subconscious. So this is why this full moon in Pisces, touching up on these retrograde planets, I'll be giving you the dates and things like that. How important it is. And for me, the how connects to source. The importance of source, the source that is within you. As above, so below, as within, so without, in connection to all four corners or all four elements and the way you use them. Capricorn energy, Saturn vibes. I use with 10th house. Now, going from one thing to the next. Welcome, loves. Ashe. Your birthday 3/13. I love it. So, we have Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. All of these planets are retrograde. Okay? So, what does that mean for the collective? Well, from now, up until Mercury's retrograde, you'll have those 6 planets in retrograde. Again, that's Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. And the way I'm going to explain these retrogrades, I'm going to give you the dates first, but the way I'm going to explain them is more so for coming from a channeling space. Okay? So we're going to tap into my cosmic energy. So literally, this physical being is what you see, yes, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. So, Mercury retrograde, it has started 9/9 up until the 2nd. Again, you do have your shadow phases. Now, Here's what a retrograde is. Just put it this way so you can get a view of what it looks like. It's basically you being, there's a slow lane and the fast lane, right? So all of these planets that are retrograde are basically in the slow lane because all of the cars in the fast lane are passing it by. Okay. So it gives it the appearance that it's going backwards. That's what a retrograde is. Okay. So Mercury will be retrograde from September 9th to October 2nd, and it will be retrograding through in Libra and Virgo. Okay. It's in Libra now, then it will re-enter Virgo on the 23rd. And you have 3 Mercury retrogrades per year. 3, 4 Mercury retrogrades per year. Well, 3, because it will translate into the next year. Now, Jupiter is retrograde or has been retrograde as of July 28th until November 23rd. Retrograding in the sign of Aries until October 28th, which will then bring it back to Pisces. I'm going to break all these down after this, but I'm just giving you the dates. Saturn retrograde is from June 4th to October 23rd in the sign of Aquarius. Uranus is retrograde. Uranus, however you would like to pronounce that, is retrograde from August till December. So it began August 24th until January 23rd of next year in the sign of Taurus. That one right there is a huge one, and I'm going to tell you why once I give you these dates here. Neptune retrograde is from June 28th to December 3rd in its home sign of Pisces. And last but not least, our beloved Pluto is retrograde from April 29th until October 8th in the sign of Capricorn. And this is why I'm saying between now and Mercury's end date of that retrograde cycle of October 2nd, this is going to be an extremely magical moment for the collective. Why am I saying this? Okay, well, let's go to Uranus first. Uranus, because let me give you what Uranus speaks of, okay? It speaks of unpredictable changes, intuition, genius, individualism, independence, the higher octave of Mercury, freedom, social reform, rebels, inventions, electricity, joining of the personal to the collective consciousness and the group mind, and it rules the electrical nerve impulses. Now, why am I talking about Uranus right now? Well, it travels through each zodiac sign for 7 years. And 84 years to go through the entire zodiac wheel. Okay. Right now, okay, we are at the 2nd house, Taurus. Prior to that, it was in the sign of Aries. I'm going to be going from one thing to the next. Now, if we're looking at the age that we're in now, which is Aquarius, is ruled by Uranus, right? This age of Aquarius is the part of the reason why I'm saying that this moment with these retrogrades is magical. Why am I saying that? Well, A lot of the wounding or karmic lessons that are still being replayed without completion is still picking up from the shadow side of the age of Aries, which then translated into the age of Pisces. And now we are literally allowing ourselves to connect to the wisdom of it all. Wisdom is applied knowledge. Now, this is another reason why ignorance is not bliss. Okay. This age is going to be magical for the collective that decides to shift. These retrograde planets right now, 6 in the 6th year of the Gregorian calendar. 6 is what? 6 has to do with a decision that has to be made. Soulmates. So now the soul is in full operation. Now, what is the soul? 11:11 on the time, and today is the 11th. Hey, come on with it. Now, the soul is the medium between your body and your spirit. It's the bridge between your body and your spirit. The way humans are designed is really taken advantage of in terms of where the ignorance can cloud someone's judgment, which has a lot to do with the word wisdom, applying the knowledge. A lot of that has to do with education, because it's not designed for students to pull what's within them out. It's designed to pour into. So here comes all of the mind games. We're in the age of Aquarius now. It's the age of mindful awareness, higher consciousness. When you speak of higher consciousness, that's you knowing that medium between your body, your presence, and your spirit, your why, your soul. Your soul takes care of the mind, both of them, conscious and subconscious, your emotions, and your willpower. And we're all, when I say all, I mean those that are, when it comes to the creative or creating all things, I'm speaking of those who are not connected to the energies of power being oppression. Because the way that some people will be disconnected from their own power is simply by not knowing their purpose, their own spirit, their own thoughts. Okay? Because spirit has a lot to do with the air element. And something as simple as breathing, okay, is also taken advantage of in terms of one being able to fully connect to their entire being, all 4 elements, as above, so below, and within. Okay, so going back to the retrograde planets, we got Mercury. Its higher octave is also retrograde, which is Uranus. Okay, and that is represented by the Tower card in Tarot. Aquarius, Uranus energy. I just got a vision of some of you You know exactly who you are too. You're remembering yourself signing your contract before you came here, how you were thrown here. Some of you didn't want to leave because you knew. Some of you didn't mind enduring what you would have to endure. Others of you did. And speaking of Uranus, that just came through. Speaking of Uranus and it taking 84 years to go through the entire zodiac, all of the zodiac signs, that should tell you a lot about what type of karmic delay you may possibly be under. And Uranus being the higher octave of Mercury, and the beauty of it, that it goes retrograde times every year. What is that supposed to do for you? It's supposed to assist you with removing the baggage that no longer serves you from the lessons, the karmic lessons. Saturn, every 7 years, too. Something about that 7, huh? The moon right now is in Aries at 7 degrees. The last time I checked before I came up on here. Let me see where we at. We at a sun hour. No, we're at a Venus hour. Okay. We had a Venus hour until 4:03, 16:03, 3:30 right now. All right. So Uranus in the sign of Taurus. Taurus has a lot to do with your senses. Okay. A lot of you have picked up or connected with certain people, relationships wise, job wise. All of that is tied into lessons you're learning and what you're separating yourself from, if that's something you should, so that way you can evolve. Because you can't take that baggage that you had with you before into this new life. Your old life is going to cost you your new one. Your new life is going to cost you your old life, excuse me. Okay? So, Uranus visits each zodiac sign for 7 years. Let's talk about Jupiter. And you're going to see where this is all connecting. Let's talk about Jupiter. It speaks of the ninth house, which connects to higher education, usually through self-learning, expansion, and integrating that into society as it relates to your life path. Life path. Where have you been before that's allowing you to shift into who you are now? Now, Jupiter is retrograde in the sign of Aries. Okay. And it will be there until October 28th. Okay. And what Jupiter does, it's designed to push you out of your comfort zone or your south node or the comfortability of your past. Now tie that into what I was saying about Uranus taking 84 years to go through the entire zodiac, all of the zodiac signs, and it stays in one zodiac sign for 7. Okay. With it being retrograde, what it's doing is it's showing you all of the shit that you have said yes to, but you also have to decide if that's still a yes based on who you are right now, as you're asking yourself about all that has changed. Okay. That's why Jupiter will give you everything that you ask for, but Saturn would say, uh-oh, hold on now. Did you do this though? Did you do this though? Because until you do this, I can't expand you any further in that. However, you're still going to be given all of these different opportunities. This is also where you'll feel like you're missing an opportunity because you can't see it fully for what it is, because still a lesson that has to be learned for you to fully connect to what is expanding right in front of you. Now, Mercury in retrograde, it allows you to go within when it comes to that part of your consciousness. Now, your consciousness downloads everything into your subconscious or your motherboard, which now has the authority to create the illusions that you see, or what's been manifested right in front of you. Mercury retrograde allows you to erase what's in your conscious mind. When I say erase, because I don't want y'all to confuse that. Oh, well, here's the thing. When it comes to forgetting certain parts of his story, it has a lot to do with me saying, okay, what is your story? What is your mystery? What is the water within you? What is the memory of the water within you in connection to the stars, in connection to Uranus, which is connected to the star energy? We're all made of star particles. Right? But the more you experience through life, through your journey on Earth, this shit starts to kind of feel like a video game, just a bit. But who's in control of that remote? It's supposed to be you. Your higher consciousness in another realm. Okay. So what these planets right now are doing, being in retrograde, they're all bringing you back to a cosmic reset for you to actually see that moment that you came back here. And it'll look different for a lot of you. You know what I'm saying? That experience that you have where you are regaining your soul's memory, regaining your mind, the power of your conscious and subconscious mind. And this is why the queen being off the board is a big deal. Now remember, now she was on that board for the last 70 years. And we're sitting here talking about Uranus said it takes 84 years. That's a lot of energy to take in and create change. Knowing how to utilize it. Saturn, be in the space of authority. Let me tell you something. There is no coincidence or coincidences in this journey of life. You've been here at the beginning of every age doing something similar. And when I say age, I'm speaking of, it takes approximately 2,500 years for the ages to change. from Pisces to Aquarius and things like that. The age of Pisces was supposed to be a beautiful, etheric experience. That's why this full moon in Pisces right now, this energy is much different than any other full moon you may have experienced, because there's a specific piece off the board. In the animal spirit deck, it speaks of being able, the lizard, which was wild because that day, that was the last animal spirit card that came out. It was the lizard, which speaks of you being able to connect to the subtleties around you. In order to be connected to subtle energies around you, you got to have control of your consciousness. Not many had that. A lot of you went on a spiritual journey. That's why it felt the way it felt, because you were actually taking your power back from what many don't realize. But she definitely had a lot of power when it came to stepping into your dream state. Like, this shit ain't even a game, y'all. So these planets, again, being retrograde, this is why I say it's a magical moment. Let me give y'all, let's get back grounded here. So Jupiter speaks of growth, integration in society, life path. Saturn, responsibilities and rules for the growth of one's consciousness. Uranus, new levels of understanding, insights through adversity. Neptune, ideals and imagination, breaking psychic boundaries in harmony with the universe. And Pluto speaks of transformation through inner growth, change that starts deep in the person, touching upon sensitive psychological areas. And one of those areas has to do with your genitals, your reproductive system. I knew me doing this was going to be a little bit, this is something you would have to play over. But Pluto being retrograde is showing you where you go unconsciously. April 29th to October 8th. So it's kind of picking up it's picking up, oh shit. It's picking up the energy of your inner God, because Mercury is the messenger of the gods. It's picking up on your inner God, your inner generator, and connected to source, the stars that you come from, to really get you to see it. So this is why some of you, while Neptune is retrograde, your dream state is looking a little intense. There's a lot of answers that are coming through there, because that is the reality. It is the dream state, or the subconscious state. Because that would be where the roots are. When it comes to the mind, the root of the conscious is the subconscious, or the foundation of it. And if there's cracks, allowing leaks or, certain things to move through it without your knowing, this is when you can find yourself more than likely confused about what your purpose is. Again, the events that we had the last few days are pivotal moments when it comes to humanity or the world, mankind, because that's what the world is. It speaks more of mankind. And if we're all going to be connected in terms of mankind, there's a lot of work that is being done presently at this moment when it comes to the foundation. And each of these planets have to do with the part of your personality. Okay? That's what the planets are. When you're looking at your natal chart, these are parts of your personality. The house that it's in when you're born, I was thinking about this earlier, and I was like, wow, yeah, that could also be it too. It's the area of your life, but it's also like what raised you, what raised this part of your personality. And then this is where you have those zodiac signs in your chart that tells you about the energy in connection to that house. You see? So it's like, okay, you could have Uranus in the sign of Sag in the sixth house. That part of your personality that is a genius basically comes up with solutions to problems. And in the sign of Sagittarius is really speaking of you choosing to go on a journey to educate yourself. The journey that you're on when it comes to educating yourself, it's a journey of bringing out what's within you and using it if you must, and releasing what you must. But it's also showing you in the sign of Sag your God essence, because that is the God energy. It's also connected to the number 9, which is it's the highest number, right? And when we're speaking of a very high frequency, we're also speaking of love. Now, Jupiter, Mercury, Jupiter, Sagittarius, Mercury, Virgo, and Gemini. But Jupiter is the subconscious of Mercury, your consciousness. That part of the mutable cross, Gemini to Sag, it's a very big deal, especially with Mercury and Jupiter retrograde. Now, Jupiter is retro in the sign of Aries. At this time, Aries has a lot to do with your head, your temperament, your life force, your vitality. It also speaks of the grandmother. Self, it's the I am. Aries is the I am, your first house. And the energy of Aries is in the sign of Jupiter before it goes back into Pisces, because once it goes back direct, it'll be going back into Aries, and that's highly significant when it comes to Jupiter pushing you out of your comfort zone, going back retrograde, going within Pisces energy of your subconscious mind. And then Mercury on top of that is retrograde. So this is basically the conversation you're having. Mercury is all of the messengers, all of the gods that you connect to, they're all part of you, right? But you are who you are. You are the god, goddess that you are. And Mercury, the part of your personality that has to do with your mind, your own mind right now is telling you to go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into your head. The fact that Jupiter is in Aries, which connects to the head as well. And what's happening is while Jupiter is retrograde, it's showing you everything that prevents you from expanding down to your own mind. What are you afraid of? A lot of you, that's showing up in a nightmare, but now you're hearing what a nightmare actually is. It's just more so what's at your in your subconscious mind that you're afraid of, and why is it that you're afraid of it? Now this sounds like something that was passed on to you energetically, because energy, you can't create it nor destroy it. It just transforms or transmutes. And again, you know, the energy that flows through you, the energy and emotion that flows through you, which is also connected to your subconscious, which is connected to your soul. The soul is what? The medium. Now, that's another thing about Mercury. Mercury has a lot to do with the way you connect socially with technology, the media. That's a medium. The media is a medium, or the middle. This is why I used to tell the collective, be mindful of what your feed is showing you. You could easily know where you're at spiritually based on just using social media. You can see where you're at when it comes to your spirit and who you're connected to, because a lot of the things that are on your feed is also picking up the energies of what it is that you're following. Now, to follow, mind you, 313 speaks of following. So be mindful of what it is that you're following. Because one is taking the essence out of leadership out of you, for one thing. That's the only thing about that fucking word on Instagram. Follow me. So you're basically looking at alchemy at its best. I'm not gonna say at its best, because that says that's something else. That's something else under it, or but you get what I mean. Your ancient self is looking at you right now like, this is exactly what I knew was going to show up, and this is the moment. This is the exact moment. And you know how close you're getting to your past, present, and future, bringing all of that together as one holy trinity. Because you'll start to hear people say that you're being selfish. Say thank you. When someone tells you you're being selfish, say thank you. Because that's one bullet point or key where you can see that you're releasing yourself from these old paradigms. And the flood that's coming is the flood that has to do with the mystery within each and every human body. A flood of emotions, a flood of energy, emotions, energy, emotion. A flood of stories, or the recollection of memories. And some of these memories, you're also getting to see where, although they're your family members, you're seeing where you don't relate, because these could be people from a whole nother age that was blocking you, or, you know, the reason why you were burnt to the stake. A lot of Shit. Why? Because you wanted to bring unconditional love. That's what I'm here for. And energetically, this is why a lot of you are connected to these videos that I do. Because when we speak of a spiritual warrior, yeah. And a spiritual warrior is the being that knows their heart and is not afraid of the love that flows, the electricity of that love that flows through their heart space, which means they have control of their conscious and subconscious mind, which means when you go through these your dream state and you're seeing some of these people that are in power and you fucking them up, yeah, you really doing that shit for real. So now you also see where the energy of the education system and how important it is for you to be mindful of who is teaching your child. Because with these planets in retrograde, what you were taught, you're also, you know, breaking down those walls that had you caved in, or in this space of delusion that they were boundaries, but they were also walls to keep you stuck. See? So where we are currently at September, October, November, December, yeah, we are at the final quarter. This is why that full moon energy is flowing like that. And why your emotions could be all over the place. One minute you happy go lucky, the next minute you crying about something that happened 8 years ago. Pissed the fuck off as if it just happened yesterday. Because Mars in Gemini, which will also be going retrograde in October, towards the end of October, while Jupiter goes back into Pisces, Mars will be going retrograde. Well, shit. High five. Okay. So, Mars will be going retrograde October 30th until January 12th. This okay, now you're okay, what's coming through is now you're seeing how deep that number 6 is, 369 also. How deep that number 6 is when it comes to a rebirth. Fuck. Excuse me. Yeah. 4411 on the timer. I'm about to pull some cards though, because I want to see what Source has to say. But give me a second, because there's a little bit more coming in here. This is why there's this strong urge to build. Uranus and Taurus. Taurus is the builder, master builder. Also, master builders are life path 22s. Also, life path 4. Now, Yo. It's like your natal chart is something you could use as a tool, like money. Like money. Although some of you are actually here to create a whole nother form of astrology, but that's a whole nother topic. Now, this Jupiter energy could even could influence you to take a leap of faith, like the Fool card. And obviously, a leap of faith is you not knowing what's happening next, because what's next is now. But with it being retrograde, it's going to help you to clean things up that won't allow you to move forward, that has a potential to stagnate you once Jupiter goes back into direct mode, being in Aries. Because Aries is the emperor, which is also connected to the heart. So you're expanding based on what your heart wants you to do. And while what's in retrograde in the sign of Pisces, whatever it is that you don't want, but you told yourself you wanted for whatever reason, because the thing about traumatic events that you do have, it could block you from seeing why you would continue on with something. So this is why that's the beauty of a spiritual journey when it comes to people with traumatic experience. Most of this usually where it's, what happens is this traumatic experiences, and you decide that, okay, something has to shift. And that's a blessing and a major gift in itself, because some people aren't emotionally grounded enough to even make that decision, which could have been you in another lifetime too. Some people who have family members who have committed suicide before you were born, and your parents knowing of that energy, it also translates into you, because even if you weren't there, but this is why your Uranus placement will help you a lot when it comes to using your Jupiter energy. And some of you can even start with seeing, okay, certain career paths you chose, why you chose it. Is it something you truly wanted to do? Or was it to prove a point? Or was it something that traditionally this made sense? Now, traditionally, I feel that this is a whole another message. Traditionally, people were doing things because of their parents' trauma. The child is fine, but they could be experiencing the dark night of the soul, the dark path of their parents. And this is why a tradition seems normal. Now, what would tend to waken that up is if the child has a traumatic experience. I just have this beautiful oak tree that's right in front of me. That's why I keep looking this way. And it'd be lit out there. I'm just saying. Squirrels and blue jays and crows, we pop it out here, okay? I gotta feed my sparrows, as a matter of fact. But anyhow, yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay. Thank you. Got it. I'm going to. Now, it was just 49.22. Let me look at that number right quick. $49.22. Friend, which is connected to Aquarius energy, speaks of social relationships. Meshulemet. Let me see something here. Give me a second. I'm going to be quite repetitive in the things I'm saying, but Y'all already know. Metaphysically, Meshulemeth speaks of a thought that is active, analytical, persevering, serious, and vigilant in its character. Okay. Let me go to 313 real quick. Let me put these together. They ain't got to do that right now. It's 404. Ahead. A Benjamite, which is connected to Sag energy too. So there could be a lot of, there's going to be massive shifts that you experience during the autumn season. Well, fall, huh? A whole lot of shit's going to fall. That's going to allow you to rise up. I just saw a vision of somebody coming out of a stone breaking down, but the statue is breaking down, but the being of that statue is coming to life. Ahead. Just pay attention to those movies that may be coming up too for you. Harder. Unity. Conscious oneness with God and with mankind. Let's see, high. A high speaks of brother. Okay. A lot's going to fall. It would have to, I mean. But my thing is, what it is, statues coming down, statues coming to life. Things, what's coming down for these statues to come to life, that's the pivotal moment. What it is. The same with the Queen. Because some of you may have, family members or loved ones that were born in the 1930s still with you today. Ashe. And just with that energy being removed now, here's the thing. There's still work to do because they're also connected to immortal entities as well. But it's not balanced. It's just one energy. It's not light and dark. It's just dark. So it's almost like there is no it's just not fun for them to be in that space for so long, and then they see how other entities are able to thrive in both aspects, right? So I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul of Mama Universe and Papa Universe. I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul of my ancestors, spirit guides, angels that guide and protect me. I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul of the gods and goddesses that flow through me as me for you and I collective to use our mind's eye to see, always in connection to the Most High. Ashe, ashe, ashe. I'm actually going to pull from this deck. It's something we got to see right now. Regarding the full moon in Pisces and the planets in retrograde. All parts of self. What's up? Let me know what's going on, baby. 5538. What was 404? 404. Press, urge, bend, to crave. And I was just about to tell y'all, I didn't even break fast yet in terms of today. Because I didn't want my body to have to be breaking down food while I was delivering this message. I just wanted to break down has a lot to do with Taurus as well, in terms of the teeth. There's a reason why I'm saying what I'm saying. We're going to see though. Welcome again, everyone. Let me see. And a siren. And a siren. Okay. Something about this gematria. Give me a second. 404. Oh, says Pope Francis on here. Whoa. Prince Charles came up on the list of 404. Marcus, Monique, the chosen one. Ripple Moon. Primrose. Andromedans. Shekinah or Shekinah, Messiah. Catching the dream. So this is what I'm saying about these planets being retrograde is helping you to gain control of your dream state. Some of you already have that, but there's another level that's unlocking from what you've been doing in terms of the way you step into your subconscious mind. Like traveling, astral traveling. Cosmically speaking, being cautious about astral traveling, I feel like that's another part of where freedom kicks in. You know what I'm saying? Where, look at that, Buddha. There's another part of freedom that kicks in where you're able to do it freely because it's part of your current reality, especially with the earth increasing in its density or elevating in terms of density, rather. Even more so the merge of different densities. But it's like the 3D or third density has been abused so much that it's going to kind of like be closed out or condemned type of thing. A lot going on in the dreams. Mm-hmm. Neptune also retrograde in Pisces, and it will be in the sign of Pisces, which speaks of your dream state, until 2025, 26. And every Neptune cycle shapes a generation. Something about the music industry. Everything that has to fall as it relates to shaping the generation, yeah, it's going to. And then Pluto steps into Aquarius 2023. And Neptune goes retrograde annually for about 5 months, which influences introspective moments. Just have to be mindful of the way you are retreating or escaping from the box or the world, and making sure it's allowing you to heal and not go back into destructive habits. And the beauty of Neptune retrograde and the full moon in Pisces during the time that we're in Virgo season, or the sun is in Virgo, it's the Virgo energy is helping you to really cleanse out of these habits as well. And then with Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, is making you go within as far as what you consider to have authority over you, where there could be an imbalance with your masculine energy. Feminine or masculine, however, you know what I mean? So, welcome, beloved. Because Neptune can really help you with setting boundaries. And in the sign of Pisces, its home sign, Pisces is ruled by both Jupiter and Neptune. So there's that also. Ooh, Mercury retrograde with this Neptune retrograde, because it's designed to help you to set up systems or boundaries so that way you don't give in to certain toxic situations. Okay? Now, with Mercury retrograde, you may either physically have people come back from your past that trigger a certain toxic pattern. My advice to you would be don't react to it, respond to it. Okay, so that way you're able to see where you have to set those boundaries. Or this could be in a dream state, because this is where your guides come in and your ancestors come in, depending on how toxic that pattern is and where they feel like you're able to handle it, especially if you've been asking, because they won't intervene if you don't ask. So this is right now, it's important for everybody to make sure you're calling in your ancestors and your spirit guides to guide you as they're flowing within you, but they're not going to intervene. It's basically having more intent, or having the intent to cleanse out what you must cleanse out. That was just water that fell through there too. Could be a water sign. For whoever I'm talking to right now, you're either a water sign, you have sun, moon, rising, water sign, or one of these ancestors is a water sign. It has a lot to do with your heart. I just saw this green aura. So Yeah, you could even be people from your past that low key were envious of you, but don't they think it's a game. Like, see, I'm one, okay? I don't play around with that shit when people be like, "Oh, I'm so envious of you." I don't play that shit. I don't do that. I'm not doing that over here. Because those are spells. Those are words. It's power in the word. Like, the fuck. What you just said? Okay, that's the last time you're going to speak to me. Because this is also the age where I'm not going to sit here and explain myself to you either. I'm just not. So there could be people that come back from your past where you're seeing where it's okay to let people go or let situations go. It's always okay to let a situation go. Obviously, it's dropping a burden. But specifically, people who have mistreated you or mishandled you, and you're choosing to not explain yourself as to why you disconnected, because first time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me type of thing. And this sounds like something that has happened before. And this is why you disconnected without saying something. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no need to say anything. You're allowing that person to go through their karmic lesson of what it is that they have to learn and be more knowledgeable of, so that way they can apply what they know and be wiser. And part of that could be the action that you take in stepping away. You know what I'm saying? So this, I feel like that's for somebody who feel like you have to explain yourself to someone as to why you're not talking to them. You don't got to explain yourself, because 10 times out of 10, people know exactly what they're doing. We got to stop having this, "Oh, I didn't know that you did." No, this is where observing comes into play. And if somebody's not going to observe you in a way, now I'm not saying that people have to understand you. You also have to know yourself and what you got to step away from, right? But this is the same for others as well. They have to understand themselves and, not being one person one moment and then switching up because you're around this other group of people. Like, no, 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 no. That shit ain't gonna work in this age of Aquarius. It's just not. Because this planet, Earth, she's tired of the shit of all of the shadow energy of the age of Pisces and all the shadow energy of the age of Aries. Tired of it. And the way she gets rid of things is her shaking shit up. You already know that's an earthquake. When she shake it up, you know what I'm saying? I don't want her out here Harlem shaking and shit. So get it together. Bro. But you don't feel bad, especially if you encountered this situation before, because whoever I'm talking to, you're very kind. Very kind. Like, people take advantage of you. Some of you are even afraid to speak up. But here's what I'm saying. You don't have to speak or take action. This you get more done. There's a lot more done through action than through words anyway. You feel me? Exactly. So look at this. God and Maverick came out. So I'm saying, God is, and so am I. I awaken into something more. Something, see that water energy coming through here too. Like, a lot of the things that you used to do as rituals, for example, are going to have a different potency to it, again, because that piece of the board is off the table. UK, you know. Wow. Universe, be your own verse, be your own sound, be your own rhythm, be your own frequency, be your own vibration. because you can now freely. As Charles means, free man. Now there's a king in place. But this is also where the earth elevating in density is requiring for both sides to be working with each other, the spiritual and the physical, because that's what it's doing. That's what earth is doing. It's not just the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. 111 on the timer, hold 6. There's that. Well, so what that 404 was talking about, and 44 does speak of the spiritual realm now. And I'm seeing the galactic center literally pull everything that is not connected to the spiritual. Black hole. Back into the space of back to the space of rebirth, not necessarily to be reborn. What does cabbage have to do with this? Smelling cabbage. Hold on. Let me see something. The root chakra. The heart. Okay. Cabbage is brilliant food to use on a full moon and also eat for personal protection. Shit. It rules, it's the element, the ruling object is the moon. Element is water, gender, feminine. Moon magic, protection, prosperity, fertility, love. Okay. I've been doing now some cabbage too, I ain't gonna lie. She said baggage. Well, it's gonna definitely help you remove the baggage for sure, boo. That's for sure. Wow, okay. Let me see what the gematria is saying. Wow. It equates to 21. The world card. Saturn. Okay. Beloved cabbage, what is your message here for the collective? Shall we? I feel like Saturn. A gift. Saturn is retrograde until the 23rd. stay focused. Keep doing what you're doing in terms of removing yourself from toxic situations, setting up boundaries. This is why that message was coming in early. If someone tells you you're being selfish, all you got to do is say thank you. All you got to do is say thank you. Look at that Knight of Swords. That's that type of energy. Well, Mercury too, people from the past rushing in to have a conversation. But that's it's more than okay, because again, it's allowing you to see where you're at. Look at this. We got Ace of Cups. What? I just said you gotta get that shit gave me the chills. Fuck. And this is Saturn in Sag right here. You got the Nine of Cups, Saturn in Sag, Ten of Wands, Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. Yeah, keep honoring yourself, which means you're honoring your ancestors as well, because they finna give you a whole nother level of the holy grail, the wholeness of you. Aries, Libra, Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini, Sag, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Aquarius, Virgo, Pisces, the balance of your polar opposite. And this is where that message was coming through before. With whatever your moon sign is, you may want to review connections that you have with people of that polar opposite of your moon sign, because it could be giving you clues as to where you may have been, where you have to set certain boundaries in order for you to fully connect to your subconscious mind, by not allowing things that are in your environment, you consciously knowing this too, but not taking the proper actions, making decisions. Number 6. Look at this energy right here now. This is what Cabbage had to say. It said, yeah, Jupiter in Pisces is going to help you to release all of these burdens that you are more than aware of. Fronting like you ain't even, you was carrying all of this. It's going to put exactly what it is that you've been fronting on, burdens that you've been carrying, okay, through isolation or through a hermit state as well. Is reconnecting you with your why of your dark night of the soul, because that's you, that's your path, that's you are that path, you are that past. And here comes the clarity, the clarity of the mind, in order for you to be able to receive. Because this is what I was saying before, with some of you here who are very kind-hearted, but you allow people to take advantage of you, because you are a giver. You're a true goddess. You're a giver. You have a lot that you are able to give, because there's so much that you have the ability to create. See? Thank you, Cabbage. Let's get a spread going. I'm not going to hold you up much longer. This came out earlier too. Moon in Libra. Some of you shortchange yourself from living a luxurious life. Cut that out. Okay, justice is being served now. You are the one serving it, by you becoming clearer about the use and action of your own willpower. What you want to allow, what you don't. God is, so are you. And like it said here, you are awakening to something more. And I feel like that awakening into something more is applying what you know. So now it's wisdom. Because I was looking at the etymology of it as well, of wisdom. Wise speaks of learn, sagacious, cunning, prudent, discreet, experience, having the power of discerning and judging rightly. And then we have here being logical about a decision, right arm, left brain, logical about a decision, and dumb or dome, wisdom, dome, speaks of statute, judgment. And this is just basically answering the calling. Because the one who answers the call is the one who chooses to. And you choosing to means that you're choosing to take that journey to bring out everything that has been dormant within. For however many ages you have been here doing that. This is what I'm saying. Your ancient self is like, this is the moment that I knew that you would see, that we would see, that I would see. Let's see what else comes through here. Technology as a source of a problem when it comes to Uranus as well. And I feel like that has to do with the freedom to say whatever you want to say, especially if it has truth to it. When I'm using the word truth right now, I'm speaking of unconditional love. The way truth just came across is more so unconditional love being synonymous to the word truth, which is also the Ace of Cups. Supreme unconditional love. Royalty. All right, let's see what this spread is talking about for you, though. What's going on here for the collective? Okay. We have taken a leap of faith here. It's just 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. You are the teacher, the master teacher. We have the Page of Pentacles coming out first. So this is being aware of what you have access to, materially have access to. And I feel like this is more so bringing the spiritual into the physical. Ooh, Two of Cups. Now, some of you could have someone from the past. If this is not you, you don't need to say, I don't want nobody from my past, because be careful what you're telling the universe, because it might bring that shit to you again. Because some of you may say that shit in a way that you ain't learned your lesson from the last time. So here we have Page of Pentacles and the Two of Cups, Venus in Cancer. Now, give me a second here, because Venus did go retrograde already, but that was at the beginning of the year. Now, it does this every 18 months. But what was the... It would definitely connect to something of 8 years ago. Hold on, I can't count in my head right now. Excuse me. 2014. 2014. I need to see what was Mercury doing? What was the retrogrades for Mercury in 2014? It doesn't have to be the person. It's the lesson. Sure was in Libra. Like now. But it was doing a dance of retrograde between Libra and Scorpio. This one is between Virgo and Libra. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah. It depends, because most questions, Q&As, they're more so like, that's more so like you're reading for somebody. Or that would be a reading, but it depends on the energy. It would really depend. But I do. Let me see. What is that? What is this cusp though? Let me go back over this way. Yeah, give me a second. The cusp of the seekers is Libra, Scorpio. The cusp of the elves is Virgo, Libra. And Chiron is also retrograde, because the cusp after the cusp of the seekers would be Scorpio, Sag, the cusp of the centaurs, which is Chiron. Wow, okay. What whatever the situation was, 2014, that influence or had an effect on your core values. This Mercury retrograde is putting you back to where you can actually shift the timeline. It's about to be 4:44 right now. It is now. Heals the brokenhearted, and bandages their wounds. That's literally the verse that's coming through here right now. Let me pull my cards out. There's two of the cards here, but give me a second. Wow, the tiger came out the deck here. I just heard a long time coming. This was a long time coming. The amount of or what you have to strip yourself from, kind of like pulling teeth. Talk to me, Spirit Source. This I'm picking up. That's a lot. You have Pharaoh here. The self. The etheric essence, etheric alignment, mask just drop. Mask just drop as this response, as this is the response with this power. When you step into your etheric essence, all of the masks fall off. Now, this is some of you getting more familiar with your rising sign. Because this is what people see. This is what people see. You could have all these other things going on within, but people see your rising sign energy. And this is the way they treat or handle you based off of that. You have a very strong connection when it comes to communicating with spirit, your purpose and the purpose of others. This is where some of you may have a test in terms of boundaries. And what you do with that power. Just because you can doesn't mean you should do that with others without asking. The zone of the high priestess as well. This is part of your bloodline though. High priest, high priestess. Taurus energy is coming through strongly as well. You're the galactic karmic of Uranus if you are a white wind galactic signature, which means you're here to, bring forth the foundation of the cosmic consciousness when it comes to Uranus, the planet Uranus. Some of you could be a Aquarius rising. Look at this shit. Leo, Aquarius, Leo. This could be your north node, south node energy too. This is the truth. If you're a masculine, you're going from an emperor to a god because you are high priest, high priestess. Your ancestors are surrounding you with the ring of fire. You definitely, okay, there's some shit going on here because now we got Gemini, Sagittarius twice. We were just talking about this part of the mutable cross, which is connected to the magicians. You're being given another piece to the puzzle. This could have to do with love too. Within the next 2 months is here. And within the next 2 months, that would be 11/11. Okay. Gemini, Sag. Whatever it is that you're thinking right now, you will see. Especially with Mars and Gemini. You know, these other planets retrograde. Don't play now. I already told you about that movie I wanted to see. I ain't talked to nobody about it. I just thought about it. The shit ends up on my feed. We're going to pull 1 to 3 oracle cards. Divine guidance surrounds you now. Libra, Virgo energy speaks of the elves. Fairy energy. What 3 oracle cards are we doing here? Right here. Okay. All right. Ooh. Look at that. Split the deck. Love begins. You could be seeing a lot of rainbows too. That's definitely a sign. Or the relationship you're currently in, or the relationships you're in with other people are definitely becoming better. What are the 3 cards here? Exchanging gifts, number 27. One more. There's something in the numbers, though. Is this? To be fair, 38. What was this, though? Mending. Okay. Prosperity begins, Ace of Pentacles, and exchanging gifts. Now, loud and clear, going where you celebrate and not tolerate it, but something about that moment going back to 2014, there could have been a traumatic experience that happened way before that led you to that point. But now they're all being presented to you so that way you can pull out or extract whatever it is that you no longer want. Some of you are Reiki healers. Use that. Go in with that when it comes to what I'm saying right now, if it resonates with you, obviously. Now, let me see what these numbers are talking about. Ahaz, 271, he has grasped, and we were just sitting here doing this. Mending. And it's 452. Some of you are going through a massive healing process in your dream state, and it's out of this. It's literally out of this world. It's like a story that ends up that's being told as to the way this happened. It's like an unbelievable story, you know. I love that. King of Judah, tribe of Judah, the lions. The tribe of Judah is finally grasped. The tribe of Judah will finally be able to grasp. This feels like the covenant. What the fuck? Excuse me. Okay. I better go ahead now. Honor of the king. The honor of the king allows you to do that. Trigger. You're surrounded by guidance. I told you there's two other tarot cards over here. I ain't turned over yet. 1033, 133, divine guidance surrounds you now. Something about the next 1 to 5 days. The giver. It had to unfold this way. Higher love, sense of freedom, breaking toxic patterns. Specifically, if you could have been born during the waxing gibbous phase, which speaks of tweaking, honing, and adjusting. And then we have Proverbs 24:5. A wise man is strong and is better than a strong man. A man of knowledge increases and strengthens his power. And the two tarot cards are, Venus in Aquarius. We were just talking about Venus 2014. And here we have the Six of Cups, Sun in Scorpio. Sun in Scorpio, Venus in Aquarius. Now, for some, the gift is coming from gods of the underworld, or there could be I feel like you've gained a stronger guardian. Because of where you're going next. Because prosperity begins here. You're mending, exchanging gifts. There's an exchange of gifts. So now I'm seeing someone, let's say you went back to your cosmic essence, your etheric essence. I'm seeing someone literally, let's say, the motherboard. You've exchanged your subconscious mind that was connected to past wounds, and now you're being given your conscious mind of the now. I feel like I'm answering somebody's question as to like what just happened, like what was this transformation that just happened? It was just it's 1:44:10 on the timer. Some of you legit come from Venus. Coming from Venus, Five of Swords, Venus in Aquarius, Uranus energy. The more you connect to your core values, the more your essence is destroying where future generations could be affected due to technology. Okay. That's wild. I just saw a shape of an ankh in that leaf. That's okay. Okay. Here we are. Here we are. Just heard the gloves are off. Now in Snow White, the fool ends up becoming the prince. Some of you recently fed a bird, right? I'm not talking about me, obviously, but this is what I'm seeing though. You recently fed a bird. There was a specific thought process or pattern that was going on at that moment, or what led you to go to the park or something like that. And what you feeding that bird, the bird took the message to the ethers for you. I'm just trying to figure out what is that face that I'm seeing. Give me a second. Something about the Day of the Dead, because that looks like a mask, actually. Or laugh now, cry later, cry now, laugh later. It looks like those two masks, the frowning and the happy mask, or the smiling fast, smiling fast. That could even be. You saw what I just did like this? Something about that. Peace, goddess. The ethers is out here to play today. 1 to 5 days. What's happening 1 to 5 days? Got something to do with this? Something from the past or conversation? Hmm. Well, they could be a conversation that you had a very long time ago, and it actually created the roots of who you are, but also that part of you are destroying. Now I'm seeing that meme uh that post that people are putting up where a girl says, "You're not who you used to be," and the response was, "Because I gutted her from the inside out." Something to that effect. And that's the exchange also. About cornflakes. I'm tasting cornflakes. Ooh, oogie. Yeah, you could be breaking from a lot of routines, that's for sure, while the sun is trining Uranus. More freedom of self expression, feeling magnetic and vibrant, great for working on group projects, flashes of intuitive insight. Who you telling? Let me see. Favorable time for making changes and taking risk. Favorable for anything to do with media and the internet. And then Saturn will square Uranus. Now that's a big one. Because it's closing out a square between Saturn and Uranus that was initiated during the conjunction 1988. Now we're talking about 34 years ago, when globalism was initiated. That's what it says. Previous Saturn Uranus squares or oppositions: 1930, the Great Depression; 1975, inflation in the US. Now I'm smelling oregano. 2000 .com bubble bust. 2008 recession and property crash. Financial crisis. The outcome of this conjunction, which will last 2021 and 2022, is even going to be bigger because Jupiter participation in this square will blow it up or expand it. But also a strong division, Saturn, between the people, Uranus. 1861, the South versus the North, Vivian division. This particular square will be felt as strong as steely regulations and restrictions of Saturn on the freedom of people, Uranus, especially through economic and financial means. And Taurus and Aquarius speaks of money and labor. This will likely result in the civil unrest previously mentioned. Saturn-Uranus hard combinations are known for bringing extreme rulers, dictators, or radical leaders of sorts. Aquarius rules distribution systems, supply chains, and distribution of resources. On a personal level, conservative structures that have survived their own time and stopped the progress of the personality are destroyed. There's that. Okay. Wow. So yeah, this is what's happening within the next 1 to 5 days. Like, you've gone through a lot of transformations, but I feel like the spiritual transformation is now catching up to the physical, and you're going to see it in real time. Well, physical time. So let me pull some cards on that. I just said trust your intuition on where you're being led. What is this? Clarify this for the collective. Trust your intuition where you're being led. Your life purpose, Queen of Wands, and divine timing is at play. There goes that Moon and Libra card. You have a lot of ideas that's coming to you. That's happening during this cleanup that's happening during Jupiter being retrograde. Because Jupiter in Aries basically says expansion of the I am. What is your conscious mind connected to when it says I am, and downloading it into the subconscious? Because it's going to expand when Jupiter goes direct. So make sure what's expanding is what you want to see. starting with the energies around you, because they provide you feedback as to what it is that you're allowing consciously. This is you sitting on your throne here, looking at all the things that has already manifested. This could be 6 different things that have already manifested in your life, but there's this one that I feel trumps this, all 6 of these. That's like the Joker. Okay. So we have these cards here. Let me continue with this spread because I want to see what's going on here. Full moon in Pisces, cosmic rejuvenation of the self-undoing. Pisces is the 12th house, the house of self-undoing now, and hidden enemies too. And boy, when it speaks of hidden enemies now, we're speaking of energies that find cracks it can go into. Becomes these people in your life where you're like, yo, it was really good. Like, okay, so here's the thing now. So some of you got this thing about you, okay, where you're learning how to balance it out in terms of you being able to see these particular energies that possess people. But the way you balance it out is by realizing that everybody has access to this knowledge. Okay, everybody has access to this knowledge to wake up. Balancing this energy out for yourself would be not putting yourself in this space anymore to have to wake anyone up. You've done that already. So how that turned out. Some did. Others literally betrayed you for doing so. This is bringing me to a scenario at someone's job. These are your co-workers. This is not your wife. This is not your husband. This is not your child. Keep your personal shit to yourself. Okay? Because that is a place where people are, if there comes a moment where they are able to advance, they may want to advance, but there's a position that's being given to you that they may want even more than you want it. You may have told them that. But how deep they want this position, how strongly they feel about this position, is where you begin to see who this person truly is. Now, this could have been part of that experience that may have happened 2014 also, where now it's part of your mindset as to the way people move. But make sure you're doing it more from a space that you're wiser from it, you know? Because you'll get tested about how much wisdom you now have from that experience when someone really close to you comes and talks to you and you're expressing yourself in a way that's more reactive than responsive because you have a strong connection to this person. Be very mindful. Okay. Whoever that's for, you get exactly where I'm coming from with that. What else do we have here for the collective? Aha. Nine of Swords in reverse, and it definitely fell on the table reverse too. I love that. So you're becoming more aware of burdens that you've been carrying that has been causing anxiety that ain't even yours. And the reason why it's causing anxiety more than likely is because it's not yours. There's not anything you can do about it, but you're so empathic that you'd want to, but that's not for you to do. But it was still part of you getting to know your core values, your backbone. Give me your backbone here. It did help you with your Kundalini rising too. Four of Cups at the bottom of the deck, Moon and Cancer. You may have a Moon in Cancer. Or this may have already come full circle for you last December. And there goes Venus retrograde. Okay, so this may come full circle for you, Venus retrograde, which was December into the beginning of this year, January. And now you're giving birth to, wow, October, November, you're giving birth to your true essence. I'm seeing an Empress and an Emperor. I love it. I love it. Wow. Right, go ahead. See what these two are. Another 6 on the table here. We got the 6 of Pentacles, Moon in Taurus. What's under that? I told you. That shit just gave me chills. Yeah. You see how I'm whispering? You cleared out all that gunk from your subconscious mind that wasn't allowing you to connect to who you truly are here. You could also be receiving a gift in the form of a child or twins, girl and boy, to show you how much work you did. Wow. Because it's showing me this here. You're no longer on the path of allowing yourself to accept crumbs. While you over here giving a whole buffet. Look at that, Knight of Swords. This could be, places you used to work at. They're noticing how much value you brought to the business, but you're being given something way better than what they could offer you. December 23rd is coming through here. December 23rd connects to Jupiter and Capricorn. Success comes through endurance. Yeah. Boom, ping, pong. Let's see. The 5, look at here. See, it came out. Divine timing. Saturn and Taurus. Yeah, you went through these lessons. Listen, if this message resonates with you, because I feel like you can apply this to anything in life, because that's what this full moon in Pisces collective message. This could apply to anything. Doesn't even have to be work, any area of your life. And more so wherever the moon is for you currently, where this could be happening. But remember, you're the emperor, you're the empress. Okay? You're not here to take orders from anyone. But you are a loving and caring emperor or empress. You don't abuse your power either. Everything that has been taken from you from all ages is being returned. There's a king on the throne now, right? Because life is symbolism. So take a moment for yourself and check the etymology of the names of people. Yeah. Because when we asked the question earlier, what do you mean go on the path of where your intuition guides you? There came out the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is generous, she's honest, she knows her purpose in life, she's extremely wise, knowledgeable and intelligent, therefore extremely wise. And symbolically, if you're resonating with this, you may have a craving for oats. You could be seeing a lot more cats than usual. And the number 6 is huge. 24, 246. Okay. Your health is definitely getting better, which allows you to enjoy what it is that you are manifesting. And when I say health overall, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I just heard, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Oh. Let me see what the gematria say for her, for Fergie. Give me a second. Symbolically, what Fergie talking about? About Ferguson too. Libra, flare, book, golem. Some of you got Libras in your life who are golems. Like they were specifically designed to, in the most easiest way of saying that, get in your way to distract you. But they were showing you a lot about yourself, though. In terms of because you could, this could even just that this could just be any partnership that you may feel that has been in this energy of competing with you. But what they were competing in when it came to you, it was still developing. It's like something you wasn't even aware of, And then once you realize it, you start to see how petty the situation is. 7 of Pentacles, because this, I'm seeing 516. That's Saturn and Taurus. 516, May 16. 511 to 516. It's like people are so wanting to know what you're doing to see if they done what they're competing against you with first. Shit's weird. That's weird. It happens though, but it's weird. Yeah, you're fucking weird for doing that. Whoever does that. You're weird. Not weird in a way that is cosmic either. It's more so like, what are you? What are you? Gosh, I'm being a real sage right now. What's some of the King Wands? The Ace of Pentacles. Boom, shakalaka. That's why Jupiter and Leo was coming out a lot too. The Six of Wands in that last read. Y'all saw how many times that Six of Wands came out? Listen, this is what I'm saying. This retrograde season is like, okay, like the symbolism for Fergie said books. This is one for the books. This really some shit you can't make up. I feel like I feel like that's where the cosmos, the spiritual energy comes in. Like, we gonna show y'all how dope we really are, how we are really a part of you, and you gonna see. You gonna see. You gonna see how this energy flow and how it's designed perfectly. But y'all sitting here being real human, want to do shit your way, and then you missing out. But we only gonna show your ass this one time. Because it's a 6 year from what y'all know. So because it's 6 year, we only gonna show you this year one time. So that way you can make the decision now, because we're gonna put it right in your face. We're gonna move all the pieces on the board and we're gonna show you. You see that shit? Man. Just weird. All right, let's say right now, right, as you're watching this, right, we're having this conversation from your etheric essence, right? Once I end this stream, it's like we come back into the physical space. The moment that you come back to the physical space, everything that has to do with work and what you're creating, everywhere you go from here on out, you're going to be celebrated and you're going to be handled with care and with balance. Just okay, because you're connected to your own story. You know what it is to be abundant and without, because these are both representations of you. Okay. Because see, with this yellow garment, it's the King of Wands. This blue garment is the Empress. In order for the King of Wands aspect to step into the Emperor level, there had to be a balance of the divine feminine due to core values, Venus and Cancer. But you see that lion head up there still, right? That's Regulus energy. That's Leo at 29 degrees. There had to be a lot that had to shift from the root and have space to expand. So now you're being shown everything that blocked you from expansion. This could be partners, that you've made it with also. Having their energy still, moving through you, it's like what you have to cleanse from. You can write it and burn it. Yeah. Split the debt. Look what I'm saying. It may be a hard conversation. Okay, this could even be business partners too. You could be realizing about yourself what type of conversations may be difficult for you as an entrepreneur when it comes to delegating responsibilities, because that's how far you're going to grow. But you're being shown right now what has occurred before that even planted that seed. Let's see. It goes, that's the Five of Pentacles. That's the Six of Pentacles right there. You realize you're your own safe haven. Wow. Supreme unconditional love, right on up. On its way, baby. On its way. Come through. Come through, source. That's 3 sixes right there. Even as I'm whispering that, that's symbolic too. This ain't the moment to explain yourself no more. You gotta explain yourself. Because this sun in the sign of Virgo is showing you your creative willpower. Jupiter being in retrograde is going to help you to remove everything that blocks you from expanding based on who you truly are, the I am that I am. Telling you, you're going where you're celebrated. Because everything you choose to do is coming from your heart. This feels so peaceful too. Because the two fishes in Pisces is sorrow and power. But you're now learning how to use that sorrow and transmute it into your powers, the Black Madonna energy. Our Lady of Hermits. Feast day, her feast day was actually not too long ago, if I'm not mistaken. And Marie Lavelle's birthday was the 10th. Yo, that's a lot. When I say a lot, I mean abundance wise. Whenever you ask for what it is that you want, don't play it small. Don't play it small at all. It's like if there was a particular, like say you wanted, just as an example, $1 million. I would say ask for 1 million cosmic money, because dollars is getting to a point where it would have no value. $1 million cosmic money. And there goes a squirrel. Hello, buddy. You see? This reminded me of Sandy because she moves like Ezekiel from Ezekiel's wheel. Just for symbolism purposes, check out the vision of Ezekiel. I don't remember which live that was, but if I find it, I can put it on here as well. Because it was when the way that came out. There's a few like that, but let me see. Squirrels symbolize abundance, fertility, and new beginnings. They often appear when there's something new in store for you. And it's a reminder to enjoy the moment and be grateful for all that you have. I love this. Wow. Let me see what this Mercury said. 554, 714, 119. Ask for what you want. I'm about to show you why I said, come through, Mars and Gemini. Peep game. You heard what I just said, right? About Ezekiel. I'm pretty sure you can figure it out right now, but somebody keep this shit to yourself. Sanat Kumara. Wow, that's dope. Okay. That's connected to something with rubies. Squirrel. Look at that. What is it? Ezekiel. Mother Teresa Bernstein bears. Now, that connects to that movie Mandela Effect. God of Thunder, Shango. 10 of Cups is on here. I am Arcturian, and they are the judges as to this to this royal family out here. Solar Cross, Heart, Soul, Zod. General Zod. 283, April 1961. Zod, when it comes to comics, adventure comics, it says Zod was first released as Kal-El during his Superboy career when his term of imprisonment was up. These are these inorganic beings that came to this planet to gain control, but it continues to say, however, he attempted to conquer Earth with powers gained under the yellow sun. And the sun we see now ain't so yellow, ain't it? Okay? Because we're on that ass. Zod was sent back into the Phantom Zone. Yo. Final message. Got work to do. I am doing work, but final message. The trickster. I laugh out loud, and I just did. Well, there's that. Visionary artist. That's also a leg-wise energy. A shoes energy. 1 to 5 days, huh? Tap dancing. I just heard, tell me where to go. Tell me where to go. And we have the tyrant. Trickster, tyrant. I laugh out loud. I rule my life. As a matter of fact, that was on some real shit. I couldn't figure out the name of this, but that's what I was seeing when I was like, there's a mask, and I'm looking to see what it is. That's what it looked like. I revere my body. The beast. I just heard Zoe Saldana in Colombiana telling her dogs, eat. Well, Hermes. I choose wisdom over intelligence. Well, there's that. This is choosing to apply what you know. Wisdom. Applying what you know becomes wisdom. Allows you to use your discernment, make the call, make decisions, answer the call. See, intelligence and knowing, it could just sit there until you decide to do something with it. Now, Mercury is retrograde. Something about Mercury's energy right now, for the collective being retrograde, in the sign of Libra, going back into Virgo. Mercury's having a conversation with Venus. Libra is ruled by Venus. What do you want? And then with Virgo, it's the earth energy, right? 6. Let's give birth to it. But whatever don't belong there, I'm going to eat that shit up. That's what Mercury said. I'm going to annihilate that, because the Panther Net Animal Spirit deck speaks of annihilation. That's it. And you got a third eye in this one. And you got the wolf. And then the dragon in the back. Trust where your senses guide you. 5:43. It's coming back down here to round the troops. Final draft. Because the next stage, glory. Straight up glory. My loves, that is your message. You got the caduceus up here twice. Imhotep coming through here. Healing with herbs. Not these other fucking substances. Yeah. Look at that. Hermes, lover, husband. Hey, congratulations, whoever you are. Because that's also on the table here. Higher levels of commitment. Why? Because you stand for truth and you are in the league of see you next time. Because I'm about to go eat for the first time today. Thank you, Source. Thank you all. I love you. Enjoy the playback because at the beginning I talk more about the planets retrograde. And we also incorporate them into reading. You know how we do. You know. It's the age of Aquarius. You know.